All right, here we are. Welcome to Success Unlocked, where we are here with one of our wonderful clients, Angelica. Welcome, Angelica.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
So, Angelica, we saw each other yesterday,
Yep.
and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, I would love for you to share a little bit about yourself for everybody who's tuning in.
Okay. So obviously my name's Angelica. I am going into my 4th year of political science at Wilfrid Laurier University. And I'm here at AYG for my LSAT and law school applications, which has been really great. And I've been really enjoying it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And me, yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say.
Yeah, well, there's so much more to you.
Yeah,
There is so much
there
more
is.
to you. This doesn't do you justice, but we'll get to know you as the conversation goes on because
Yes.
I know so much more about you and I just know that there's
Yes.
so much that you have to offer. So
Yeah.
let's go back just a little bit. Let's back up a little bit before we talk about yesterday.
Okay.
But let's go back to before you joined AYG and how
Okay.
you felt at that time. What was that like for you?
Yeah, that was actually really confusing because I knew what I wanted to do and I had the goal and the intention of wanting to go to law school, wanting to study for my LSATs. And it was always in the back of my head, okay, I have to figure out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to prepare. All these things were just in my head. So I don't even remember. I somehow came across AYG and I was through emails. I think I signed up or subscribed to something through one of our law clubs and I was like, okay, I'll join. And as soon as I went on that meeting, I was like, oh my God, I felt so relaxed. And I knew that I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm going to prepare and this is how I'm going to do everything. But before, I was just so confused. I had no idea what I was going to do. I felt lost. It felt like such a huge task to take on. But now, comparing, it's a load off. I know everything I have to do. I feel prepared. I feel motivated. And I just feel so much more confident in myself. Confidence is like the biggest difference.
Yeah. And it's confidence, but it's not limited to applications, is it?
No, not at all. It's so many things, mindset, everything, seeing myself in the future and what I want for myself. And just, I've discovered so much about myself and even just some things I knew that I wanted in my future. But now I see so much more that I didn't know or wasn't really aware of.
Yeah. And so what do you think was the biggest sort of realization for you that led you to that confidence and trust in yourself?
I think just first of all, when you come to AYG, your mindset and perspective is completely different from beginning to that. And then when you join the coaching calls, the environment, everything, I think is what shifts. And it's like, okay, you have a team, you have support, you feel, I don't know, you feel stronger and more confident knowing that you have all these people who have shared similar experiences as you and who are going through it with you. But I think the thing that really switched my mind was when I started going through the modules and especially my 5-year vision. That's when I was like, okay, I have a goal, I'm actually working towards something. Before it was I wasn't looking at it as a future thing. I was just like, okay, this is what I want. And okay, I'm just going to do my law school applications and I have to study and do the prep work and that's it. But now I see it as this is a stepping stone to becoming future me and the future life that I want. And yeah, the 5-year vision is what did that for me. I was like, okay, I see all of this. Now I want to work towards it.
Yeah. So good. So what would you say is unexpected about being here?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess.
Because so many people, I think they hear, applications, test prep, and they think they know what they're going to get.
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you mean because that's what I kind of envisioned at first too. I was like, okay, coaching calls, go on. Like, I thought we would be like doing like a lesson. Like, that's the things that I envisioned was a lesson, or, you know, you focus on different topics every week. But instead, it's so much more personal, and the community is amazing because you join on, you address every single person. So you feel like the personal aspect, but then everyone's sharing something. And for example, maybe someone had some sort of struggle or like mistake or something, then we talk about it and everyone learns from it. And it becomes like, so everyone takes away something from someone. And I know I've taken away so many things from so many people throughout the calls. Just, it couldn't have even been like something related to me, but I took whatever lesson or thing you gave to them and used it and worked it for like my life or like my situation. So I think people definitely wouldn't expect that personal aspect, but also like the community and how strong it is and how you learn from people. And it's not just I'm joining a call and I have to listen to a lesson and then I'm leaving and that's it. And I'm didn't take anything away from it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that. I love that about it because we all learn from each other.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. And you've been in office too?
Yes.
What's that like coming in?
It's actually really fun. I really like it. It's so fun, like seeing Brayden at the front desk and then Mira, like, and everyone there. And it's just like I say hi to everyone, and it's fun. And I think it adds more of that personal aspect again, and just being like in the environment with you guys and seeing what's going on, the client wall. It's just it's fun. I like coming in, and it's like a great interaction for me and you too, to like to work in person. And although we could still do the same thing virtually, but it's better when you go in person and actually be in the environment of AYG.
So what is that like? Can you describe the environment of AYG? Because it's intangible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I don't even know how to like really describe it. I wasn't that's really saying I wasn't expecting it. Like, I didn't expect to have such a welcoming, positive environment. And I knew it was going to be positive. That's not the right word to say, but so much more than I could have imagined, if that makes sense. Like, when I walk in, I feel welcomed. I feel like, okay, I belong here, and that personal interaction, I know everybody and I can talk to everybody, and it's so personal and fun. And you can't get that anywhere else. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's so friendly, open, everyone's so welcoming, and it's just a great environment to be a part of. There's really no words or like way to properly describe how amazing it is.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It feels like every day is like a hug.
Yeah, it does. Like, sometimes I come and I'm a little bit like worried or have some sort of like doubt, just like whatever, doing my test preparing that week. And I always leave much more confident, motivated. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to tackle on the next week. Like, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. So that actually leads perfectly into yesterday.
Yes.
What
Yes.
happened yesterday? Let's talk about it. Because there were some really fun, I say fun, it becomes fun. There were some really fun strategies that we have at AYG that I have not heard anywhere else that we do here. And we apply them at the right time, but not all the time. Has to be at the right time. So I don't just suggest this just for anybody at any time, but at a particular time, we have certain strategies. So before we get to those strategies that we talk about, let's talk about some of the realizations that you had yesterday, because I think that those were really important, not just for your process, but also for you as a person, becoming the person you're becoming, creating what you're creating for yourself, and building what you're building. So can you take me into your mind yesterday?
Yeah. Okay. I will go with
Paint the scene. We went to lunch.
Yeah. Went to lunch. We got food sitting there and just everything spilled out and there's just big realizations came in. But yeah, I did have a really big realization that was really helpful because this entire time, and I've kind of been in a plateau, we could say. And it's just, I felt very defeated. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I blamed it personally on myself. I'm like, no, I'm not understanding something. There's something wrong with me. I'm not getting it. I don't know what it is. And every day I would do my sections and I just feel defeated. End of the week, another punch. And I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So basically, after some like reconsideration and talking to you and coming up with some different ways and a long time of kind of reverting back to the basics of foundations, it's a so-called experiment, I like to call it. And then kind of coming back and realizing, okay, I've had enough of that. I want to go back to the normal schedule. I did that. And now I kind of approached it differently with more motivation. Like, don't get me wrong, there was some doubt in that, but motivation came with it too. And I decided to switch my environment because the space that I'm in right now wasn't working for me. I was getting distracted. I was looking other places, noise. I just would be staring at a screen, reading the question, and my mind would be completely somewhere else. So that just was not working for me. And I tried also like the technique of like earplugs and like the waves, which I did really like in this environment, but there still wasn't something clicking. So I then switched to Starbucks, which is just 5 minutes from my house. And I started just this week on Monday. I go in and I sit down and just automatically take a shift. I got my strawberry acai lemonade. I got my egg bites. I ate them quickly, got something in, and I sat down. And I just felt like a shift. I put my earplugs in, the waves, and there was something about it, having that like structured routine of waking up, getting ready, leaving the house, and going to sit there. And you see everyone around you is focused and or doing something, and you can't just get up or like drift. I don't know. You feel much more like in the zone, if that makes sense. So I was just sitting there and I realized like, oh my God, I did my untimed and there was a score increase. And I was like, okay, there's not something wrong with me. And I did the same thing the next day with my time section. And again, I felt like a little bit of a difference, but I realized, okay, again, there's not something wrong with me. It's a timing issue. Like, I can do it. I understand it. I have the knowledge. It's just when it comes to the timing, I just, that's a struggle for me. Like the pressure, I feel like I'm constantly watching the clock. And I was like, okay, that's it. I just had to kind of figure this out now. And there's not something wrong with me. And that gave me so much more confidence. And I approach this week so much more differently than I have, which was like a big difference for me because I was really doubting myself. And I just realized, okay, there's a difference between untimed and timed. When I went to switch to a different environment, completely different. And it showed me, okay, you're good. There's not anything wrong with you.
How important is that?
Really important. Like super important. Because like I said, I thought there was something wrong with me after months of like a couple months of hard work. It's really deceiving to like think that, okay, like there's something wrong with me or like I'm just not getting it or all that work I put in didn't go anywhere. And then when I went there and I went to Starbucks and just that switch of environment, it made such a huge difference for me. And I finally figured out what my problem was. And I was so happy coming to you yesterday and said, okay, it's a timing issue, not me. Like and I know you knew that too. And you told me that. And you're like, I don't think it's you. But it's harder to believe until you actually see it yourself. So very important.
Yeah, because you think, so here's the thing. This is what is so common when we are plateauing on the LSAT. And I have been there. I did the LSAT. I did it twice. So I learned from first time to second time as we do. I did the MCAT. I've written the bar, right? There's so many standardized tests that we write. And the LSAT is actually really unique in the sort of standardized test world because there are so many tests available, like so many real tests available. And now, as you know, at AYG, we are an official content licensee of LSAC, the maker of the LSAT, and we are very proud of that collaboration. And so all of our clients in MTP have automatic access to Law Hub Advantage with their work with us, and they have their own accounts. You have your access for a year. And the beautiful thing about the LSAT is that there are so many practice tests that are real tests. And so we use them every week in our LSAT training here. We build your schedule, we have your foundations work, we have your untimed and timed work, and then we have your full-length LSAT every single week and a rest day. And we track your scores through untimed, timed, and your full-length. And I ask you lots of questions in our tracker that you submit to me every Thursday for Thursday MTP coaching, Mastering Test Prep Coaching. Now, we all have seen variations of a plateau. And when we are sitting alone, we think, oh my God, there is something wrong with me. I am not smarter than this score. I can't break through this. I am not smart enough. Other people are smarter than me. Other people have whatever I don't have, and I don't know what it is, but they've got it and I don't. Yeah. Right? And so one of the things that we talked about was, okay, we need to sort some things out. There were some personal things that were going on. There were some circumstances that were going on. And we said, okay, we need to sort this stuff out. We need to get on a schedule. We need the schedule to be consistent and predictable. And once we got the predictable schedule in place and you were able to keep that schedule, then we could actually see trends that mattered. Because when you are just, not you, anybody, when anybody is just, and I had another client in here just sitting across from me just now before this, when we don't have a reliable, predictable, consistent schedule, we don't actually have reliable data to look at when it comes to understanding your scores. So you know that in coaching, I say your score is data. It is nothing more, nothing less. It is a data point. And I draw pictures during our coaching, and I'll draw graphs and I'll draw curves. And I'm like, you are here. This is where you're going because I see where you're going. So I did this in one of our sessions at least, and in coaching, where I'm drawing the curve and I'm like, you are here. This is like this little teeny tiny itsy bitsy blip in time. This plateau feels long because you feel like you're suffering through it because it sucks. And at the time, you didn't know what was causing it, but we were figuring it out. You were figuring it out with your one-on-one coach here. And you're moving through, you actually moved through the plateau and have so many important learnings and realizations. And one of the biggest steps, as you've just said, was we decided, okay, you have to get out of your regular environment. Because now you're like, it's stagnating. The environment, the energy is stagnant. We need to like reinvigorate this, right? Now, here's the thing. Yeah, the LSAT is totally about, learning the question types, learning the different flaws, learning all of this. Totally. It's about your timed and untimed sections. It's about your drilling. It's about all of these things. Yeah. But if you don't have the mindset piece in check, if you don't have the external circumstances in check and how you deal with them, the drilling and the foundations and all the work, it actually can't showcase itself. It cannot showcase itself. And you find that you have to redo things over and over and over again. And you feel like you're spinning on the same wheel over and over. And you're like, how do I get off this thing? So you needed a change. And I was there. Why do you think I worked at Starbucks? I needed a change. I couldn't work at home. I wanted to be in the zone.
Yeah.
Right? For me, that helped me be in the zone. I had my earplugs for when I wanted them. I had music when I wanted it. I had my waves when I wanted it. And you're in this setting where it's kind of like this unspoken accountability, like, oh, they're working. So okay. All right. We're part of this, like unspoken study group.
Yes.
Right? And of course, like Starbucks always has a soft place in my heart because AYG started in Starbucks just this way, where I was in Starbucks writing my dissertation and people would come to me and ask what I was doing. And then they learned I was on admissions committees and I could help them too. And that's literally how this started. Yeah. Now, for you, when you went to Starbucks, you said something to me, which is like, there were other people who were practicing for standardized tests too. Now, yes. The wonderful thing about that, and how I know that you've had such an important mindset shift, is that didn't scare you. It didn't cause you to be like, oh my God, other people are doing their standardized tests and go back home. Mm-hmm. You said to me, it feels like we're part of a study group.
It did. I was like, okay, we're here at the same time. We normally who's here first? It's like, you're checking, oh, you got here first? Okay, well, I just came, so you're going to leave at that time. You kind of figure it out.
Right.
It's really fun, actually.
And it's the mindset of non-competitiveness.
Yeah.
And it's the mindset of, this is what I'm creating, and I am able to, not just focus on myself, but actually be in the present, creating my future from the present. Mm-hmm. And that allows us to be more present in the moment and actually just appreciate things like our surroundings and who's there, rather than being intimidated by it. Oh, they're so much further ahead than I am. They must know more. They must be going faster. You didn't think about any of that. And I just want to tell you, that is such a win.
Yeah, actually, I'm realizing that now. As you were telling me that, I'm like, yeah, because I went in there, even though I saw it, I'm like, oh, there's other people. I didn't ever think of that as a competition, because at the end of the day, I know what I'm building. I know what I'm doing for myself. And it actually was more comforting in a way, kind of supports, okay, there's other people here too studying for a standardized test. That's great. And you feel like you're not alone also. But I was never intimidated by it. And now you make me realize that even more. Because I'm more confident in myself now. And I realized yeah, that is actually a complete mindset shift. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was going to say I'm now I'm stuck on it. I know next week I'm going to be there every single day.
Yeah, right. It becomes your routine.
Yeah. No.
And then when you go home, you get to go home.
Yes. That was really big for me, actually. I realized, because I was getting my sections done, reviewing of right and wrong, and I get home and I'm like, okay, I don't have to do anything else today. I would do my other work for the afternoon. And then at the end of the day, if I wanted to, sure. Or if I want to take free time, I would do that too. I had the choice because I know I put in the work in the morning and I did everything that I had to do.
How amazing. People think that you have to spend full-time job hours on the LSAT, but you don't.
That was my opinion.
Yeah.
Before coming to AYG, everyone was like, oh, so I talked to family and I was like, okay, I think I'm going to create a full-time job. These are my exact words. 8 to 4:30, I'm going to be studying. That's how I thought. And then when me and you built my schedule, I was like, that's it. That's pretty much all I have to do. Of course, if I wanted to do more, I can do more, but that's what I have to do every day. Okay, I can do that. That's manageable, and I'm not losing my life. I thought the summer was going to be horrible, but no, great. It's great. It's amazing. I do what I have to do, and I get my free time, and I love it. But the best part is that I feel structured routine, and I'm a type of person who I need that structured routine, and I have it. I'm studying, I'm getting my other responsibilities done. But at the end of the day, I have the free time to do what I want to do for myself, which I didn't think I was going to have. So that's a win for me.
It's a huge win, because a lot of people think, and we hear this all the time, oh, am I going to be able to do my applications and my LSAT or my MCAT while I'm working, or while I have these other obligations, or while I'm in class, or other responsibilities? And so since joining, how has your perspective on that shifted? Because, you learned you don't have to spend the entire summer treating the LSAT like a full-time job. And so has it become manageable for you to do everything? And maybe even manageable is too like not even descriptive enough. Has it, like, how has it been?
Yeah. Like you said, I don't even know if like it feels light in a way. If that makes sense. Like it feels easy. Sometimes like too easy. Like, is this like right?
Yeah.
But and like I think I've heard that before, but like that's how it's supposed to feel. You're not supposed to feel bombarded with all this stuff that you feel like you can't take on. And that was my impression, that I was gonna be locked in my room all summer studying. And everyone was like, oh, you're not gonna have a life, you're not gonna write, you're not gonna be able to do this. Actually, I do have a life. I have Pilates with my mom and her friends. I go out with friends, everything. But then I vacation, yeah. End of August, work, everything. But then I still, at the end of the day, I have that structured time where I know I have to like get in the zone, do what I have to do. Now I know that's Starbucks from 9 to 12 in the morning. And it's great because actually I get up in the morning, I get ready, and I don't even sit in the kitchen for breakfast because I realized that was my downfall. I would sit and I would sit and I would sit, procrastinating it. Now I go, yes, I get my egg bites and I get my drink, but I eat those egg bites right away and I see other people working. So I get to working. Like you said, it's that unspoken accountability that you're like, okay, you need to work now. Enough eating.
I know. I just love working at a Starbucks. Even to this day, like I lock in so well at a Starbucks. We should do a Starbucks partnership. Starbucks, if you're listening, call me. We love you here at AYG.
Honestly, that should be a thing. It really should.
I put it out into the universe. Now let's see. Let's see how far this gets.
That would be amazing. I think that needs to happen.
I think so too. We make things happen here at AYG. Let's do this. I like that. I love that.
It can happen.
It's been on my mind for a little bit of time now. So, now that it's out there, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So yesterday, one of the things that came up was timing. And you said, I'm watching the clock. This is so frustrating. I'm on because obviously you're doing it on the screen and you're like, the clock is just there. And I'm watching it and I'm counting down and I'm doing the math of like, how many questions have I done? How many questions do I have to go? And what is the time? And what did I say?
Cover the clock.
Get rid of the clock.
Get rid of it. Don't look at it. Just literally cover it. Put a sticky note on your screen and just get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I never really thought about that. And I feel like it would help because I've been so stuck on timing. Like you said, like I told you, constantly back and forth looking at the clock. If it didn't hit a certain amount of questions by a certain time, the test was done. Like I already like ruined my results and like my ability to do the test and to answer the questions properly.
Mm-hmm. And so this is one of my favorite strategies, covering the clock, because it forces you to feel time. I did this when I was writing, and it was one of the things that actually was a really big game changer, because once you've done the foundations and you have a great understanding of the content, and of course, you build the content understanding over time, and that is reflected in your scores going up, 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 up in a curve over time.
Yeah.
And when you're watching the clock, like watching it, how much time do you spend during a timed session actually looking at the clock? In total, probably about let's look up, look down, look up, look down, look up, look down, look. That does a couple of things. Number one, you're probably spending at least in total in a 35-minute section, you're probably spending 2 to 3 minutes up, down, up, looking at the clock in total.
Yeah, no, I definitely am.
And then think of all the cognitive switching that you're doing during that time. Up, okay, comprehending the clock, comprehending the question. Where was I again? Oh yeah, I was here. Now comprehending the clock, now look down. Okay, oh my God, I lost my place. What was it? Was I looking at the question? Was I looking at the answers? And you're losing so much time.
Oh, so much time. And I actually realized it myself. I'm reading the prompt But then I go to the time and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm in the middle of reading this prompt and I have to start all over again. Like, that doesn't help whatsoever. And it puts me further behind. And then I stress out more, feel more pressure, and then I don't do well.
Right. The questions that you are doing, you're doing twice, and you're not even getting to other ones.
No.
So we cover the clock. We
Yeah.
cover the clock. And you know what? The first couple of times, and we talked about this, the first couple of times you do that, you're going to get maybe like halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way through. And then you're going to hear beep, 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 time's up. And you're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't get to the last half, or I didn't get to the last quarter of the test. And my response is, right. That's the process. You're feeling time. You're feeling how long things take. So that by the time it gets to the LSAT, you have such a great understanding of time that you get to like, I just have these vivid memories of when I was doing it, and I would get to question 20 and I would know exactly what time it was by what question I was on. Think of that in reverse. It's not the time is telling me that I should be on this question. It's the question telling me how much time I have left.
Yeah. I need to get on that level.
Step by step. Step 1, cover the time.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I know. I think it's going to create like a huge difference for me.
It will. Now, as we know, nothing happens instantly. There's no quick fix for anything. You have to let things take time. But you're going to get to question 20 and time's going to run out. And then maybe for you, it's going to be question 15, 16. I actually don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Right? It's a data point. It doesn't matter because you're going to get faster. You just can't give up.
Yeah.
Right? The only thing you're not allowed to do here at AYG is give up. That's the only thing you're not allowed to do. That's my number one rule. Aside from not sharing numbers with anybody in the community, that's our number one rule. Yeah. But a close second is you're not allowed to give up. Okay? So what that also means is that in not giving up, we are not feeling defeated. I mean, we can understand that feeling disappointed.
Yep.
Feeling just, oh, I've been working so hard. Just like you said before, I've been working so hard. I think you even used the word defeated. I felt defeated by the questions. Fine. That's fine. But in the consistency, that goes away.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not that we don't feel things here. We're not bypassing how we feel at all. In fact, how we're feeling affects our actions. And so how we feel during the test actually matters. And this is what is missing, really, in my view, anywhere else, like quite frankly, because I've been there. I did all those classes. I did it. And what was missing was, okay, I've got the content, but the content's not enough. Same with the MCAT. You could get the content's not enough. It's what do we do with the content? How do we be through the test? Who are we being through the test? So when you trust this process, you cover the time and you start feeling your way through the questions. At the beginning, it does not matter how long it takes. Maybe you do 6 questions, you get caught on something. Great, that's a learning. You realize, wait a second, that actually took me 20 minutes. I got stuck for 20 minutes. That's wild because the clock is not there in the corner encouraging you to move on. So then your real understanding shows. How stuck you get shows. It holds up a mirror that you can't argue with. And you can't say, oh, well, if I hadn't guessed that one to move on, I would have gotten it right. There's no excuses. It holds up a mirror. And then you got to be real and you got to say, I can't believe I took that long. What happened there? Maybe that is something to bring to my coaching session. Why did I get so tripped up on this?
Yeah.
And then week by week, now this is going to be for all of your time sections, even during your full length. We're committing here. We're committing. Even during your full length, you're covering the time. Is your score going to then go down? Yes, but it's not because you don't know what you're doing. It's because you're learning time. So there's a difference here. And then you're going to speed up because naturally you're going to understand what 60 seconds feels like on the LSAT. 60 seconds on the LSAT feels way different than 60 seconds listening to music. Feels way different than 60 seconds working out. Feels way different than 60 seconds eating. Feels way different than 60 seconds talking on the phone. Feels way different than 60 seconds doing anything else. You're going to learn what 60 seconds feels like on the LSAT. And it's my goal for you and for everybody here that you read the passage one time, the prompt one time, the question stem one time, the answers one time. Maybe you have to go back and forth between two. Two of them are easily gone. And it's a combination of all of these other strategies that we talk about every week, plus this timing one that gets you there, that gets you to the point of feeling like we talk about in coaching. If you know how to drive and you learned how to drive, obviously, if you know how to drive, you one day, didn't drive and you had to learn how to drive. You get into the driver's seat and you're like, what do I do? And someone beside you, whoever's teaching you, is like, okay, foot on the brake. 10 and 2. This is the rear view mirror. These are the side view mirrors. You have to look over your shoulder in order to see your blind spots. Where are the blind spots? So then maybe you have like the driving instructor getting out being like, can you see me now? Can you see me now? These are your blind spots. And you're really learning like all of the different elements of driving. And then you learn how to drive and you're getting like on the highway. You're getting on the highway for that like first time, maybe your first 10, maybe 15 times, and you're gripping so hard. And you're like, oh my God, I better not swerve to the left or swerve to the right. And that car better not come close to me and blah, blah, blah. And you're looking everywhere and you're like, oh my God, but that's my exit. I missed the exit. Oh my God, because you cannot move. You're just like, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. What do I do? This car is, oh my God, it slowed down, brake, right? Like it's, you're learning, like it's chaos.
Yeah. No,
and then the radio
definitely
somehow turns on or you're like Spotify Bluetooth comes on. You're like, how did that happen? Like there's so much chaos.
Yeah.
And then trip after trip, like drive after drive, you're like, okay, Spotify, like I've got you. Rear view mirror, I've got you. Side view mirrors, I've got you. And then you're like, having a conversation, doing the radio, I have to switch lanes. Boop, 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 done. No, no, no. And you don't even think about where you're looking. You're like naturally rear view, side view, blind spot, straight, blah, 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 blah. And it's natural. You are the car is you. You are the car is you.
effortless.
And we read about effortless in the Success Society, in our Mindset Peak Performance coaching calls every Tuesday. What effortless, what it actually means. It doesn't mean no work. It doesn't mean no focus. Effortless like driving. And we'll unpack that on those calls. And we do. You are the car is you. That's how the LSAT will feel when it's like when you're ready. You are the LSAT is you. And you're just like, got it. Next, no, next. Oh, notating this, no, next. By the time you're done the questions, you still have a minute or two left. Because you have learned time and you're not even looking at the time. You're not even looking. Because you've trained yourself now. There's a sticky note in your mind, in your subconscious. There's a sticky note over time now. So on the real test, you may glance at it, but it won't have the like level. It'll be like information for you. It's not an assessment of how you're doing. Right? Yeah. So we cover the time and we have so many different strategies like this that we apply at different times, depending on what's right for you. But we wanted to talk about this today. We literally were at lunch in our one-on-one session yesterday in Limitless, and we were like, wait, let's talk about this. So that's how this podcast came to be. We just said, let's do it. And so how did that conversation, how does this concept of doing this make you feel?
I think, like I said before, it kind of gives me like motivation whenever I try something new. It gives me that motivation and like, well, like, okay, I'm going to get it, like step by step. It will come. And overall, the strategy makes me feel a lot better because that's why we're having this conversation. Timing was huge for me. And it was a big problem to the point where, like I was saying, I was going through answer choices or just like the stimulus. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And I would look at the time and had to start all over again. So blocking that time out, regardless of even, okay, let's say I do 10 questions, whatever it is. Okay, then I like learn and like you said, I like that, like what you said, put that mirror up. It's like you have nothing to face with yourself. Okay, like why didn't you, like what was the problem here? Why didn't you get that question? Or why was I stuck on that for so long? I don't have to blame anymore time or something like that. And I know, like, no pressure. It's natural. Just let it be. And it's more of learning about myself and seeing, okay, where did I go wrong here? And it's a great learning exercise, actually. And I'm not intimidated by it. I think it's actually going to be really good for me.
I'm so excited for you, like in this sort of like next phase of your LSAT journey, because you've learned so much about yourself so far. And I'm so excited for your next level.
Yeah, I feel like I'm there. Like I'm just like touching it and I'm just like, keep going. Like this week already like a huge shift. Just like 1 week, like with one like pattern or something that you change in what you're doing can create such a big difference. I'm very excited myself too, actually, to see, like, I'm actually excited to go to Starbucks next week on like Monday and like start again and see how that goes. And like to watch myself like get into that routine every week and feel that structure and then come home and have that feeling of I did everything I have to do. I learned today. I learned something new. And especially with the time, I'm going to learn a lot of new things about myself and how I'm taking the test and how I'm like approaching questions. So I think it's going to be really good.
Me too. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And you can come back on the podcast and tell everybody how it goes.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, I will.
Let's give everybody an update. No rush. Like we let the time take what it takes. Like, but we just have an eye to the future of like, we can't wait to hear how this goes.
Yeah, no, I'm excited too. I'm excited to see what I discover about myself and my learning. And I can't wait to achieve that like effortless, which I know step by step, it takes time, but like I will. And that's what I'm working towards. That's the good thing about all these strategies, that you know you're working towards something and you know you're going to get something out of it that's going to benefit you and you're going to learn so much from it. So I'm excited.
Me too. Thank you for sharing all of this, Angelica.
Thank you for letting me. It's been great.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you. And I love that we do our sessions in person. You know, you can come and make your keychains anytime you want.
Yes, I did. I did. Oh, it's not even here. I was going to like,
I posted it on stories.
I did see it. It's great. It makes a great purse chain. Get anything. Like pencil case, something, anything. Just put it on anything. And it's great. And you personalize it to yourself, which is great. Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
Thank you for being here, Angelica. Thank you for sharing and for being here for this really lovely and important conversation on strategy. And what would you leave people with today?
What I would say is, coming from a person who was in like major doubt for a while and I was really hard on myself, to just let it be natural, be nice to yourself, realize that, okay, if something's not working or you're seeing something not change, it's probably not you. And look at the other circumstances. For me, it was my environment, which led me to other realizations that proved further that it wasn't me. So I think, what I would say is just be nice to yourself. I wasn't nice to myself, or just really hard on myself and doubting myself a lot. But that's not necessary because you figure it out, and a simple change makes the world of a difference. So be nice to yourself and let it be natural. And what I've learned from Adrienne is step by step, and you will achieve what you want, and you'll get to future you.
Beautifully said. What a beautiful way to end. Thank you, Angelica. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.